President Obama says his proposals for a debt deal are what the American people want. For some reaction, we have with us on the telephone Texas U.S. Representative Louie Gohmert. Thanks for joining us, Congressman.
Well, it's my pleasure to be with you.
What do you say to Obama's assertion?
I say he doesn't have a deal. It's just amazing how he can stand up and say these things with a straight face. This president has proposed no deal. He hadn't put anything in writing. He hasn't made any firm proposal at all. He keeps requesting that the Republicans do what he asks, and that includes raise taxes, but he has no deal. And what I had confirmed by our speaker and leader this week that was a shock to me, I asked how much, because they've just been discussing, how much in cuts were they willing to do, and the president said, well, they might go $1.8 trillion over 10 years. But then our leadership was trying to move it higher. I asked how much of the 1.8 the president has agreed to was he willing to have cut in the first year, and the answer was he's not agreed to anything in the first year. There's no agreement to cut anything while he's president this term. That's just shocking to me that he would propose anything that didn't have firm commitments in the next 18 months, because that means there is no commitment to cut.
Obama says the clear majority of Republican voters think that debt reduction package should include some revenues. Revenues, code word for tax hikes. Do Republicans favor tax hikes?
No, they do not. They do not favor tax hikes. You can find a few out there that say, that may be okay. The problem is the damage it would do to the economy. And plus, you would have thought that Republicans would have learned after 1986, that tax reform that Reagan did. He was promised all kinds of tax cuts in return for, what was done to the tax code. Well, the cuts didn't come. President Bush, H.W. Bush, was promised all kinds of cuts in spending in return for just a tiny, oh, come on, President Bush, we know you said, read my lips, no new taxes, but just a little bitty raise here. And once he did, they beat him up for breaking his pledge, no new taxes. The cuts never came.
Do you think Republicans here, there's an attempt to snooker them like Bush 41 was with that no new taxes?
I think that is exactly what's going on, and the best evidence of that being the case is no agreement to cut anything in the short term, the next year and a half. You surely realize what it would mean to agree to cuts over 10 years. You get more than a year and a half out, they will not happen.
What's this business about Obama saying he cannot guarantee Social Security payments will be made if a debt ceiling increase deal isn't reached? Is he telling the truth?
He may be telling what he believes to be true, because he's a victim of whoever gives him his information. But whoever is supplying that information is not being truthful. The fact is there's $2.6 trillion in Treasury notes in the Social Security Trust Fund. Now, they are basically like IOUs, but what they are not telling you is that there is enough money to pay every Social Security check for at least 3 years. And in 1985, most people aren't aware, but there was a shortfall, and it was made up by selling some of those Treasury notes to pay the Social Security. So there was no lapse in Social Security payments. And now it's grown to $2.6 trillion in the way of Treasury notes and Social Security Trust Fund.
And aren't payments required by law, Social Security payments?
Absolutely. They are required to be made from the Social Security Trust Fund, which has these Treasury notes. And in 1996, a very conservative new Congress passed a law so it would be even clearer than it was in 85 that if there is a shortfall that needs to be made up in the cash on hand, you can sell some of the Treasury notes to pay the Social Security. So I just think it is absolutely unconscionable when you know that seniors count on that Social Security check as to what they can buy this month, what they'll have to put over till next month. They're counting on those checks, and to have a president of the United States who ought to be out there being a statesman and saying, we got nothing to fear but fear itself. You know, be calm. There's no problem. We're going to work this out. We're going to take care of things. We're going to take care of our commitments. Seniors, don't worry. Instead of that, you got the scarer-in-chief out there scaring the elderly. It's a tactic he's been using since he became president and told America, hey, you got to pass this $800 billion stimulus, which is more like $1 trillion, because if you don't, then the unemployment rate could go as high as 8.5%.
What happens if no debt deal is reached by the August deadline, Representative?
There is money. You go day to day. You look at the assets that are available. There's money to pay those things. And I can't help and be a little cynical here because, you know, we find out the president has a big birthday bash scheduled for August the 3rd, celebrities flying in from all over. And lo and behold, August 2nd is the deadline for getting something done so that he can have this massive, maybe the biggest fundraising dinner in history for a birthday celebration.
$36,000 a head.
Yes, that's right. And anyway, isn't that amazing, the timing of this?
Is there an insensitivity issue at play here?
There is no insensitivity on the part of Republicans. And in fact, you know, for years...
No, with the president, the timing of his birthday party.
I don't know what else you would call it when the president sets a birthday party to be this biggest fundraiser in history for right in the middle of a crisis. I mean, that'd be as crazy as setting up golf games in the middle of going after Osama bin Laden. Surely he wouldn't do something like that. Or, yes, maybe he would.
Or maybe he did.
Maybe he did. Yes, maybe I'm being a little bit sarcastic.
Some might say that Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell is throwing conservatives under the bus and capitulating to Obama, giving him unbridled authority to act unilaterally. Others say it's brilliant strategy. What do you say?
I can understand Mitch McConnell's concern about America getting mad because, they think the Republicans aren't doing anything. But I think it's ridiculous to push forward such a drastic cave for a plan because when you have a plan B and the other side knows what it is, plan B becomes the plan. They say, well, forget your plan A. We'll go straight to your plan B. We should not be making a proposal like that.
Texas U.S. Representative Louie Gohmert, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, and I appreciate your helping educate America on what the real truth is.
Thank you for watching Newsmax TV.